Okay everyone, first of all, welcome and thank you for coming tonight, and also thank you for your fantastic response to the early bird season ticket offer, which has been absolutely phenomenal, and I'm sure that our panel will expand on that shortly. We're going to hear from everyone tonight. I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by, of course, first team manager Neil Smith, first team coach Mark Hammond, goalkeeping coach Glyn Shimmel, Alan Dunne and Jack Holland as well, and we'll have something to say from all of those on the panel tonight. Now, I'm going to start off with Neil. Neil, obviously it's been a fantastic response to the season ticket offer. It's record sales as well. I'm sure you've got something to say about that.
I would just like to say a big thank you for your support for the coming season, but also from when we walked through the door. Because 6 years when I did, you were probably our stand. You were the supporters. That was how many we had. You know, 400 season ticket holders this season. You know, we broke all records. Absolutely phenomenal, and I know when we spoke to the players about it, you know, they are genuinely pleased and happy, and hopefully they can repay you with your support come first game of the season. You know, and to turn up tonight as well, you know, the support I've received and the good wishes that I've received as well, just in the bar for the last, you know, hour, has been fantastic, and again I hope and we will give you something back to applaud. Because last season was a great season for us. To come 10th, I think most people had us down to come 20th and fighting relegation, and to actually end up where we did was phenomenal. And I know the players, some of them have left. We've got a new set of guys come in, but they're good people. They want to learn. They want to be here for the right reasons. And I think that gives us a head start from what we had last season, when we did have a few difficulties during the course of that season. But in my own way, I'd like to say thanks, you know, for last season to Mark Hammond, Glyn Shimmel, Alan Dunne and Jack Holland, because without these guys, you know, we wouldn't have succeeded. They've been fantastic from when they come on board, and I'm really pleased to have them on board. And Alan Dunne's not just a player, he is one of my coaches. I've also got Ben Shawley as well with his experience coming in, because we are going to be a young, enthusiastic side with a lot of energy, but at some stage you just got to calm that energy down. But pre-season's gone really, really well at the moment up to now. They've worked really hard. You know, we've gone back to a bit of old school hill runs and stuff like that, but that's where you test their characters, because it's easy to turn around and say I can't do it anymore, and they're not. They're going through it, and I think we saw glimpses of that against Leatherhead last week, especially the first half. But I'm looking forward to next season. I'm going to need your support. We're going to need your support, because there will be difficult times. It's going to be a tough season. You know, the league's phenomenal. You know, when you've got the likes of Leighton Orient coming up against you and Hartlepool, obviously the teams that are already up there and thereabouts, you know, your Tranmere Rovers, it's a phenomenal league to be in. And I've said to the boys in a presentation yesterday, we can achieve anything we want to achieve. It will be difficult, there will be tough times, but we've got to be able to come through those, and we can't do that without your support as well. When there are difficult times, that's when we need your support. When it's going well, it's easy to support a club, but when you are having those difficult times, you know, your support last season was phenomenal. You know, because we didn't have the best of starts, and you kept with us, you stayed with it, and then that last game against Gateshead away, when we gave a debut to a 17-year-old boy from the academy at the start of the season, you know, that just topped it off. That just topped my season off as a whole, because that means we're going places. We are doing things right. You know, we'll go on to the academy in a minute, but that's the foundation of this club. We want to generate our own players. We want Bromley players playing for Bromley Football Club. We want you to be able to say, you know, you knew them from when they were kids, going to the local school across the road, and that's where we're looking to achieve. And in our own little way, we achieved that last season, and we want more of that, because that was a big thing for this club, to generate your own players. They play for that club that little bit more than bringing people in who don't have that passion for that club. But again, I can't thank you enough, guys, and I really genuinely hope, and I believe we can give you something to cheer about that might just be a little bit more special than last season. You know, we finished off well, but we know it's going to be a tough start to the season, but we'll be giving it everything we've got right up until the last game of the season, like we did this year.
Phil, thank you. And just before I move on to Mark Hammond, I'd like to say we will have an opportunity, if anybody's got any questions for any members of our panel, we'll have an opportunity for you to ask those at the end after everyone's had a word. So be thinking of some. And also the players and the panel will be going into the bar afterwards for a short while to have an informal chat with anyone who wishes to do so. Mark, I introduced you as a first team coach, but of course that's not your complete role. You are Academy Director and it's been your first year in that role. It must have been a busy one.
Yeah, very busy. We've set up a leading partnership with Ravensbourne Secondary School, and we're kind of looking to build and invest in the community. We want to produce local homegrown talent. I know it sounds cliche, but we actually will serve the word development, and I think we can offer better than actual football league clubs in terms of education and development. Right from the under-12s to the 16s, which is the youth academy, which Glyn will oversee, and then the following year we're going to launch the 10s to the 16s, and then the following year we'll do the under 6s right the way through to all the way through to the under 18s. And especially with the school being across the road, and with the developments and the structures that are going on place here and the resources, the academy and the academy players will get a first class and outstanding education. Not just from the resources as well, but the staff that are in place. The staff actually care about what they do. It's not just a job, it's an actual career for them. And it's the same for the players that are coming through. There's an ethos that's going in, that we're building, there's an identity that's being put in place. We've launched the 10 Commandments that every player that comes through, they don't worship, but they'll, well, they worship Glyn. But there's a set of there's a code of conduct, there's ethics, there's an ethos that's going into the club, and our end goal is that hopefully match days we will see academy graduates in positions, centre half, midfield, on the wing and scoring goals, and every match day graduate hopefully in 2, 3, 4 years will come through the academy, and our squads will be the backbone of that. Another aim and objective is to, if we can propel and springboard players into the Football League, but obviously we don't want to lose our own homegrown talent, but it would be nice for the club financially if we could actually start developing the players and then actually moving them up the leagues. And what an advert for Bromley Football Club as well. So there's a lot of investment in terms of planning and design that's going in to actually give the academy substance. We've created links with Brighton University. They're now on an official partnership. So when the boys finish, they've actually got pathways. I've created 3 partnerships with universities in the US, so the boys can actually, they've got 2 sub-pathways where they can either go to the US to do a scholarship where they'll get a free scholarship, or they'll have to pay like the university route in England or Wales. Also we've now got the link with the FA, the local, where they do their level 1, and next year the current first years will do their level 2, so they'll get deployed within the community, so they'll actually get hands-on work within the primary schools whilst wearing the Bromley crest. And with our development, like the gaffer said, he mentioned Aidan, we've got a crop of players at the moment that have just come through, and we've got an even stronger group coming through, and I think we're quite fortunate that players are now looking at us rather than Palace and Millwall, because they see that Palace, Millwall, there is kind of bums on seats sort of, it's a numbers game. Whereas if there's 2 or 3 players now that would actually turn their head and actually look at Bromley and see us as a developing club, where they've got more of a chance now, especially with the kudos of the National League, is actually looked upon as if it's a Division 3. So as a selling point, it's brilliant for the club. We're looking to deploy our youngsters into the lower levels of non-league, so that they can develop in adult football, and then when they're ready to come back, you know, hopefully they'll be ready to put the shirt on for the first team, like we did with, or the gaffer did with Jordan Hicks. He placed him out on loan, and now look what an acquisition that young man is, and he's going from strength to strength, and he's under the spotlight from the Football League, you know, every week. So a lot of work's going in, and I'd like to thank Glyn and working with players like Jack and ex-Football League players like Smudge and Dunne coming in now. You know, you're just learning every day, and just listening to their journeys is you know, a dream job. So I'd like to thank everybody, and thank you for your support as well. Here's to, you know, fantastic 2017-18.
That was very, very insightful. I'd like to move on to Glyn Shimmel now, and once again, Glyn, I introduce you as goalkeeping coach, but you are heavily involved with the academy, and in particular the JPL, which the club has recently become involved with. So would you like to tell us a bit about that, and also how it's been working with our new goalkeeper, David Gregory?
Gets to me, and they've already said half what I was going to say anyway. But yeah, in terms of what Mark, just adding to what Mark is, with the chap that runs the National League had seen there was a sort of gap in the market between Kent Youth League, where our youth section teams play, and there's also the Tandridge League. So as a club, as we set up as we are, we don't like the word elite players, we play advanced players. So advanced players, then you've got development players, then you have a football for all stream. Bromley as a club, we've already got that set up with our junior section, our youth section, and then really the gap is then first team. So there was a sort of gap in the market for this new thing called JPL League. Kent League, great league. I've been successful in it with my 15s, and I've gone with that team from under 8s all the way through now to 15s. And what we're actually looking at now is you only really have a challenge of playing against, it's always like a 3-horse race. You go to some teams and you whoop them and that kind of thing. So in terms of where we are with the league, the JPL came up with it, and again, facilities, we'll be playing against the likes of Dover's under 15s, Ebbsfleet's under 15s, Oxford City's, Basingstoke, teams that are either in the conference national, but obviously in the southeast, teams that are either in the the National League South, and those better Ryman clubs. So again, playing on good pitches, proper facilities, good refs, and hopefully that learning environment for the boys. It's a pilot scheme this year. The beauty of it is I'll be running the 15th. Tom Bowman, who does a lot of great work with the academy, he's head tutor. He last year looked after our under 16s, and the pleasing thing for us is we had about 80% of those boys who are playing Sunday League football for our under 18s. 80% of those have actually joined and signed up for our academy this year. That's the crop of players that Mark's talking about, who we already know because we've sort of not monopolised it, but Mark and I also look after all the Bromley schools teams as well. So we're looking at the best talent that's actually playing in the borough. And we're obviously earmarking those players for the JPL teams, if not the Kent Youth teams, if not the Tandridge teams. And with that, that's going to feed the academy in the long term. So that's where we're at with the academy. It's been a good year. In terms of Gregor's goalkeeper, well, I mean, they'll disagree, but goalkeepers always work the hardest. So we were in about 3 weeks before everybody else. And yeah, technically very, very good. The main thing for me, he's got a great character. Very young, 22. Good kicker of the ball. Agree or disagree now with the modern game. Look at Man City, but yeah, excellent kicker of the ball, good communication, and he's just done very, very well. He looks good. He looked very good in training. Leved didn't have much to do last week. Hopefully he'll be a bit busier tomorrow. But I think game by game it'll grow with his confidence. With the likes of playing with stalwarts like Jack and Dunne and experience, it will improve and help his game. And yeah, I think we're set up very well for the season. And just a general feel today, we were just talking about it there in the tunnel, that the camaraderie with the boys is, it's just hit another level this year. Great, I hate the word banter, but there was a good atmosphere on the training ground today. All like George Porter, obviously at the heart of it as always. But no, it was good. It's good, and I believe they're all going out tomorrow night, which is good. I don't think we'd have had that last year with last year's bunch, but I think this year Jack's led it, and he'll anything like that in a minute. But yeah, but as I say, it's good. It's looking very, very good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now I'd like to move on to Alan Dunne. Alan, obviously you've been a professional for over 15 years of your career, and you've got wealth of experience in the Football League. You've only been here a short while, obviously, but how do you feel the progression of the club is coming along?
Good evening. Yes, I've only been here a short time, 7 months. In that 7 months, we finished 10th, the highest position the club's finished, and I've been on a private jet. I was at Millwall 23 years, 3 promotions, FA Cup final, FA Cup semi-final, Europe, never got taken for a meal. So a private jet in 7 months and finishing 10th, I've enjoyed my time. But when I spoke to Neil in January, I had a couple of chats with him and he wanted to get me in, and we spoke in length, and he told me the vision and the ambition of the club. And from speaking to him, I jumped there. Since I've been here in the 7 months, how far the club has come, how hard the staff are working to get to where the club want to be, the board, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. The ambition and the vision for where we want to go is huge, and I can't wait to get started out here. The boys can't wait to get started. The boys we've signed this year, the group we have, are good, honest, hard-working lads who've all got the same vision as us and the staff and the board, and yourselves. I think with your support throughout the season, there'll be tough times, no doubt. We stick together, we work hard, we win together, we lose together. And I just wanted to say thanks for coming tonight, thanks for your support since I've been here, welcoming me. When my family comes here, my wife, my kids, my dad, they said the respect they get from the people here and everyone around is huge, and that means a lot to me because they walk through the bar and the staff and the fans are really respectful and nice people, and that makes me feel proud to be at Bromley.
Alan, thank you. Absolutely brilliant. Now, Jack, your turn. As club captain and a legend to many as well, you've seen a lot of ups and downs in your time here, and you're now one of our longest serving players. So what's your views on the progress that the club's made over the longer term, and also for supporters who aren't aware, do you want to tell us a little bit about how your connection with the club came about initially?
Good evening, guys, you alright? Everyone can hear me, yeah? Sweet. I started off, at Bromley, a local lad, literally lived 6 minutes away. I started off here under 13s, coming through the youth system, is unreally heard of at Bromley. So I've come through, luckily enough, got picked up by Crystal Palace when I was under 16, ended up doing 5 years there, and got the opportunity to come on loan to Bromley when Mark Goldberg was here, and Smudge was still here, and I really wanted to take this club as far as I can. Even back then, on loan you try and impress, and that was something that meant a lot to me, especially coming through the youth and being actually in the stands. And I know Bradley Goldberg was with me at one of the games, so even playing with him was amazing. And I think from when I first come to see what we have now is unbelievable. I remember when we was training, 6 of us on a Tuesday night down at Goals. Smudger was taking people out on a Tuesday, and to see us now and the facilities we have on our own doorstep is unbelievable. And obviously you can see with the new pitch is really a thing of beauty, really. I couldn't have dreamed of it when I first come. 5 years in, I still am as hungry as ever, and that's a testament to these group of guys here who every day have put in the work to get this set up. And I think that this shows, with obviously finishing 10th last year. It was a tough year for us, and it was the likes of the management that really did push the players, and obviously yourselves. Seeing your support every week, I can tell you that it does really mean a lot to the players. As much as you might not think, you come in every week, seeing us lose, seeing us win, it really does make a hell of a difference, especially to me and the management. I honestly think that this year, with the group of players that we have in, I'm willing to die for them on the pitch, and I know that when I look around, they're doing the same for me, especially with Dunne who gets in his fair share of tear-ups. I honestly think that this could be our most successful season ever, and I really am looking forward to getting started and trying to put Bromley back in, try and get Bromley in the football leagues. That's the goal. But again, thank you for all your support, and hopefully we can have another successful year for you guys and have something to celebrate.
Jack, thank you. Absolutely fantastic to hear from you. Now, before I take to the door for any questions, Mark Hammond, has got something really, really important that he'd like to say, and also I'm going to hand back over to Smudger just before we do that. So, Ammo?
Yeah, I found my bed. I found my wife in bed with Alan Dunne the other night. So, it's $17.99 on Amazon. Done it the hard way.
Just before we do go into the questions, I'm hoping this has just given you an insight that it's not just a Saturday that this club's all about. The progression this club's made in the time I've been here hopefully shows that there's a foundation at this club now. If anything was to go wrong, there's a foundation that can carry on no matter what. There's been a lot of hard work going on off the pitch as well as on it. You know, we'll talk about what we're doing on it, and we want to do this. This club has to survive and has to be prepared for if anything happens, there's this forever. Yeah. This club is sustainable on its own. It doesn't need people coming in to try and shift it up again. This club, hopefully now, has a foundation to work from. The progression it's made in the time I've been here is phenomenal. That was our training ground, the five-a-side pitches behind there. 18 players. 18 players trained on there, and unless someone else had paid, and then we'd be moved on to the five-a-side pitches next door. But now, we've got a full-size pitch with 9-a-side. We've got this facility. The club is now hopefully joining together. The youth section isn't the youth section, and then there's the academy, and then there's the first team. We're Bromley Football Club. We're one big family, we're one big unit, and together you can achieve anything. And the closer we are, the more supportive of each other we are, the better we will be. And I think we're now joining the gaps. Everything's joining together. So when the youth team come out here, we're all here to support them. That's Bromley Football Club playing out there in the FA Youth Cup this season. And when they're playing in the league, we want to know how teams are getting on. We want to try and get there and support them. We want our players to go and support the youth teams on a Saturday or Sunday whenever they're playing. Because that's the future of this club. You're here forever. You have been here forever. You've seen the bad times, and now hopefully you're seeing the good times. You're seeing this club grow. And I think the energy that's around it at the moment, we've got to keep it going. We've got to keep that energy going and really make sure that not just this year, but the next 5-10 years, this club can reach and achieve whatever it wants to achieve. And with your support, I really believe we can do that.
Wow. Neil, thank you. Absolutely brilliant. Now, I'd just like to remind you that the panel will be staying behind in the Ravens Bar for a short while after the event, so feel free to pop in and have an informal catch-up over a drink with them. However, I'm now going to open the floor, so if anybody does have any questions for a member of the panel, you are now more than welcome to share that. Yes?
Guys, as a supporter for 25 years, I massively appreciate what you've done for this club over the last. I mean, it's been amazing. It's been absolutely superb, and it's everything we ever dreamed of as a club. And my 2 points would be: one, we're the biggest borough in London. How do we create the? You know, why isn't Bromley more people? Why are there people in Bromley that just say, I don't know who Bromley are? I support Millwall or Palace or Charlton, and I get that. I guess that's your job to increase that. And the second question is this lovely pitch. What if we get promoted?
We get promoted, it gets ripped up and
Okay.
Yeah, that's not even an offer. That's what will happen. But until we do get that, we need to generate to get a better team, we need to bring in the money.
But there's no chance that the Football League are thinking about allowing it, or we don't.
I can't see why they won't. I think it's only the Premier League, the Championship, that are really going to put any obstacles up. I think the teams below that, I think they need to generate money. I think more teams will. It needs one club from this level to go up with the 3G to see whether they will carry on or whether they will make a change. And I think until that happens, there'll always be obstacles. But on the other side of it, we've got to bring people here. We can't expect people to turn up every week to support us. It's great that you do, but we need to do something. So yeah, that's my responsibility as the manager of the football club. I need to do it on the pitch, make sure people want to come here. The youth setup that we've got more players than we've ever had. Hopefully they start supporting the club because they're playing for them. So it's, in some ways we're starting that. The fact that we've got 400 season tickets sold, the most we've ever sold, we're doing something. We can always do more. You know, we've got Glades that support us. We need to be in there, make sure that people know that there is a football club at the end of the road. You know, there is, and it's in a fantastic league. As I say, the highest we've ever achieved. That's down to us as a club, as individuals. We've got to go and do more. We can't expect people just to turn up week in, week out. We've got to go and make it.
Neil, thank you. Anybody else a question for any member of the panel? Yes, sir, at the front.
Anything that brings the chances of getting up down to the middle section. We know there's some massive clubs in this division. They've got financial backing beyond what we've got. So the fact that there's now, it's gone from 5 to 7th, it gives us a chance. It gives you a chance. It gives you something to fight for right through the end of the season. Being 10th last year, we were free. We're free playoffs. So the difference in points is what we've got to negate. I personally think there should be a 3 up, 3 down. I don't think the league above us is any stronger than what we've got in here, especially the top half. But until that happens, just to give us that opportunity is so much better because it gives us a chance all the way through the season to get into those playoffs.
Thank you, Neil. Any more? Yes, gentleman at the back.
I'd just like to ask, any chance of a cup by this year? I'm the first round of the FA Cup.
Don't swear. We'd love to. We've said it. The one thing we didn't do last year was a cup run. In both the FA Trophy and the FA Cup. I believe once you're in the Conference National, we should be aiming, especially for the trophy, we can go and win it. I played in the final, and it was Shims. But I didn't play anybody in the National until the final. So there's always a chance of doing it. The FA Cup, that's the one. That's the one that can hopefully financially give us something to support us. But obviously, we haven't done it for a long time, and yeah, we'd love to do it this season.
This round got Braintree away anymore.
Yeah, I think last year as well, I think we broke our duck when we won live on BT Sport.
Yeah, that was well.
So that was kind of a cloud over us, but we did it. We went away, we was the underdog, we was live on TV, and we beat Macclesfield away.
It was brilliant.
We all share that passion and drive. The FA Cup sells the dream. Dunne will tell you, I think it's chapter 4 in his book about he's got a runners-up medal and he played in the semi-final. So I think this year, fingers crossed, we can drive it.
Do you know which place, Roger?
I think we can drive it and hope for that FA Cup run dream and try and sort of emulate what Lincoln and Sutton did and maybe get lucky in a couple of the rounds and draw one of the big boys. So fingers crossed.
Maybe there.
Thank you. Yes, gentleman in the polo at the back.
Neil, you're still building the squad, I assume. So with the trialists you've got, how many more of those guys are you looking to take on board? Is there a number in your head, or is it just if they're good enough, I'll take them type scenario?
We'd love a squad of 18. I've got 16 at the moment, and there's a couple of the young boys that have done exceptionally well during pre-season. Christian Campbell being one of them, but they need developing. how we can develop when we don't have an under 23s is quite difficult. So it might be that you get a couple on board, the younger ones, and then like we did with Jordan Higgs, and you loan them out and hopefully they get some game experience. But on the other side, I'm looking for 2 more players as senior players to come into this squad before the start of the season. So there's 1 or 2, maybe not in the trialists at the moment, there's 1 or 2 that might be in there. So I won't give any more away.
Thank you very much, Neil. Got time for possibly 1 more question. Yeah, gentleman at the front.
What was the opinion of the players when it was changed from grass to astroturf?
Actually, I'm going to pass this down to one of the players.
Didn't see any grass. I think it looks fantastic, and I don't think there's a huge difference in between the Astro and the grass. For me, I think it looks brilliant, it looks professional, it looks like you can't wait to get on there. When the floodlights will be on it, when the water's on it, it will look brilliant. I think football's football, and when we go out there, the pitch last year at times was a little bit off, but now we can try and keep the ball, move the ball, and play good football, which would be obviously entertainment for you, and that's what we want to try and do. Jack will tell you more about the pitch.
I'll tell you more about the pitch. Yeah, I mean, with the 4G, as Danny said, looks amazing. I personally enjoy playing on it. Jims? Am I boring him? Is he walking out? Yeah, go on. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm happy with it. I mean, we played Maidstone earlier on in the year on 4G, and in my opinion, it was the best we played. We honestly did dominate that game. And we've been training on this 4G for 2 years now, and honestly I think this is only going to strengthen our playing ability, especially with the players that the management have brought in who want to play good football. It really does set us up to do even better this year. So I'm more than happy to play on this. You're welcome.
Thank you all for those fantastic questions, and I do apologise to those of you who we haven't managed to get round to, but of course the panel will be staying in the bar for a little bit afterwards, so if you do want to chat to any of them, you are more than welcome to do so. Just before we finish, on top of season ticket sales, we've had an absolutely fantastic response to a player shirt sponsorship, which has again gone through the roof, and at such an early stage, that really is amazing. If you are interested in sponsoring a player shirt this season, Chris Rogers will be in the bar afterwards, and you can have a chat to him about the possibilities there. Just like to thank you all again for coming tonight. Thank you for your support. It's been absolutely phenomenal. Here's to another successful season at Hayes Lane. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have one more round of applause for our fantastic panel this evening? Thank you once again. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll see you again soon.